welcome to another episode of On Cue. Today, I'm switching it up. Now, he's the first gospel musician I'm having here on the show, or a Christian artist I'm having here on Cue. So, yes, welcome, Kobby Salm. Drum roll.
Thank you. What's up?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm great, Charlie. Great.
Doing well?
Great to be here, Charlie. First
Thanks
time
for
being
coming.
here, and it's amazing. Thank you, Charlie.
Let me just delve right in, starting with your looks.
Okay.
Right? You have a very, hip look. You know how, why do you look that way? You know how people just put gospel musicians in a certain box to say that if you're a gospel musician, you are supposed to behave some way, and then that includes how you dress and how you put yourself across.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why have you chosen this path to be, on a different tangent?
So I take this question to be like two in one. Okay. So the mindset people have about gospel and looks is actually two different things. The gospel is religion. Okay. Your looks is culture. Okay. And culture is the way a group of people actually live, the way they eat, the food.
School us.
Yes. So when you actually mix culture and religion together, you might go to another place where their culture is different, probably serving the same God, but not acting the same way you probably be acting when you are like in Ghana or in Nigeria. You get it? So
Yes.
it's just because we are in Ghana and we perceive religion to be some particular kind of way. That's why it's actually quite difficult for people to understand. The second part is I'm a rapper. Prior to being a gospel artist, I was a
Right.
secular artist.
That explains it. That explains it. But anyway, let's continue. I'll come to that.
So prior to being a gospel artist, I was a secular artist. I was a rapper, and I got the conviction to actually switch to gospel. And I was a rapper. I remember my first song, which I could sing, which talks about, it was a prayer to God, because I thought gospel music was just all about the worship and the praise, but I got to know later on that it's not just about that, but whatever giftings that God has blessed you with, you can serve Him with it. So I was like, okay, then let me serve God with my rap gift. And it happened that it was already termed urban gospel, so I was just put in that space. Yeah.
You were if you say you were put in that space, it seems to me like you were forced into that space against your will.
No,
you say you were put into
not against my will,
Okay.
but I feel the name, the urban gospel name was already there, and it happened that the genre that I was doing falls under the urban gospel, so it was just placed under the urban gospel, which I'm fine with, because in this world, categorization is very important. Because I always say there's river, there's sea, they are all water, but one is river, one is sea. Understand? Just to make you know the differences.
The difference.
Yeah, so I'm pretty cool.
Okay. Speaking of which, you call yourself a Christian artist, not the regular gospel musician that we are all used to. What's that difference for you?
So I believe with Christianity, we get to talk about a lot of things. Gospel is actually centered on the birth, the death, the resurrection of Christ. So I have this belief that if you want to call yourself a gospel artist, then you need to be talking about these things, these things that I'm talking about. But I'm a Christian, and I sometimes do inspirational stuff, and possibly it's not gospel, but it's just Christian vibes. So why not call myself like a Christian artist, so I can practically be doing in everything. You know, in the Bible, when you read the books of Solomon, it talks about love.
When you say you know the Bible, I thought you were coming to ask me.
No, I won't put you in that box.
Okay.
The book of Solomon talks about love stuff. Ecclesiastes talks about normal life issues and stuff. So all these things are not even the gospel. So even the Bible itself, you get things that talk about morality, inspirational stuff. So that practically makes the whole Christian journey like worth riding.
Okay. You did mention being a rapper, a secular artist before coming into the gospel. At what point did you fully avail yourself to be quote unquote use. I'm using quote unquote because I know that everybody and anybody can be used by God once you avail yourself, right? Yeah. So at which point did that happen for you? Because most of the time what happens is you know it, that it's coming, or you have to do a particular thing and then you don't do it because you're being stubborn. And then, you finally give in.
So I didn't see it coming.
Okay.
I didn't see it coming, honestly. I was a secular artist then. My mom was a deaconess in the Pentecost church. My dad is an elder in the same Pentecost church. So I was like, okay, me, the church itself, no be my thing those times. And I was in the university one time, African University College of Communications. And he's now a pastor, Pastor Marco Uswansa. He was then the choir director of the choir in the Pentecost. So he reached out to me. And this, I always talk about this because he knew very well I was a secular artist then. But he still reached out to me that the choir was doing a Kirk Franklin song and he wanted me to come along.
Had he seen you prior perform any gospel?
No.
None, okay.
No. But he knew I was a rapper. So he just reached out. It was like, oh, he wanted me to come and do some rap on the Kirk Franklin vibe that choir will be doing. I was like, okay, cool. It's pretty cool. I've never done that before. So I did it with them. And the response was amazing. And I had my pastor and some people in the church talk to me about it. But I'm that guy, I want to feel certain before I actually take a particular move. And it was in my room when everything happened. Prior to even the call for my presiding elder, I had met other urban gospel artists shooting videos. And I heard the song, I thought it was just a normal hip-hop song. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. This song sounds cool. But it was when I got the conviction, that was when God actually made me know that all those things that I saw previously was a way to prompt me that it was what's the word to use?
Setting you on the path?
Yes. It was deliberate. So after all those moments, I just had to say yes and take the cross.
Saying yes and taking the cross. Looking back all these years that you've had to do that, are there any things that you wish you should have done before saying yes? And are there any regrets at this point? Do you ever look back and say, maybe if I hadn't said yes, if I hadn't become, a Christian, I mean, sometimes you're a Christian not by your own decision. You know that, right? Because your parents groomed you. But when you decide, it's a different thing. Exactly.
So, can I be very real?
That's why we are here.
I want to be very real.
Please be real.
So, after taking this part, one thing that I wish that I never did. I know my gospel folks are going to hate me, but that I declared myself as a gospel artist. I wish I never did that.
Is there a reason?
I feel that urban gospel itself has not really been accepted, and the acceptance would take a long time. If I had not declared that I was an urban gospel artist, or not accepted the fact that I was an urban gospel artist, and I was just doing my normal songs, I know a lot of people would have been jamming to the song, not knowing where I belong.
Right. I get what you mean.
You get it?
Yeah.
Because we're in this country and a lot of people actually jump to Christian songs by secular artists.
Yeah.
And if you approach them, they will tell you, oh, Aseda can say a gospel.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
But when it's done by a Christian, then it's very difficult.
Doesn't get accepted
yes,
the same
it's very
way.
difficult for them to accept it. And prior to actually taking this part, I remember I had a conversation with my producer then about the same subject, and I was so stubborn then. I was like, no, I just want to declare my stand so that everybody knows that this is what I stand for. But if I was making that same decision then, I probably wouldn't have done that.
I can tell from just a few things you've said already that you're a stubborn person, right? Especially first talking about having to have Pentecostal parents and going on that trajectory of doing hip hop.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens it's not a regular thing, because we know how Pentecostals are,
Yeah.
like how they can be really strict with
Yeah.
their doctrines and all of that. And then now with what you said with your manager, how has your stubbornness saved you and helped you?
A lot. Because even in my Pentecostal church, I remember when I started, they would have meetings and be like, "Oh, this guy won't support the church. He's bringing."
Oh.
I don't want to mention the artist's name. He's bringing. They will mention the secular artist stuffs into the church, and this is terrible. So they have meetings, and those times when my mom wasn't late, she'll be defending me like hell. She'll be defending me. Yo, this is what this guy is all about. You don't know what it took for me to bring this guy to the church. And yeah, but I had a promise with God, not with any human. So I knew what I was doing in the church, not to serve any human, but actually to fulfill
Your
my
purpose, which your mom knew. God rest her soul.
Yeah.
God rest her soul. And so I'm happy that you've set out on that journey to achieve your purpose, and then get to whichever height that you want to get to as much as possible. Let's talk about promotion of your music and of your brand, right? Because a couple of months back, I saw so many billboards in town. You see Kobby Salm on it. How much have you had to spend when it comes to music promo, and and how do you make that money back? Does gospel pay you enough?
First off, how much? A lot. And actually, it's been one of my biggest fears, because day in, day out, you tend to spend a lot on your craft, so that people would believe not just in what you do, but in the whole gospel thing that we are trying to push. Because people have this perspective or perception about gospel music, and God being so good. A lot of us now are trying to change the narrative, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot, but it's difficult to actually get the money back. I won't lie about it. It's you practically might not even get like half of it back.
Really?
Yeah.
You saying it's difficult, then it just takes something off in my head. Because there's this perception that gospel artists are able to recuperate their monies really, really fast. Faster than secular artists, because they'll call you to a church. They'll call you to a wedding, they'll call you to someone's birthday, they'll call you to any celebration, right, to just perform, and then you still get to take your money and go your way.
This is where the whole conversation is. So when the church is actually calling on gospel artists, the urban gospel artists are left out.
Oh,
You get
okay,
it?
yes.
They're left out, and they have the kind of gospel artists they actually would want to come to the church. They would call on us when they are having probably
Youth
like
program.
youth events, and the youth normally don't have like the purchasing power. You get it? In the
Yes.
church. We love to serve the youth free. So when they reach out to you, they'll be like, okay, this and blah blah blah, Charlie money no day and things. You have to come and perform for free. And for crying out loud, like, we put a lot into this. And if you don't avail yourself, you're put in a particular box. Oh, this guy,
It be some way.
yeah, it be some way, they bob. And so it's actually difficult to actually get the finances back, to be very honest.
How about streams? Because you have your music on the streaming
Digital.
platforms.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Doesn't
get-
that
you
bring
get-
in an
you get it,
appreciable
but
amount?
it's not as compared to we when you watch the kind of videos that we shoot, it takes a lot.
Okay.
A lot. Sometimes I don't want to do figures, but you're pushing me. Like, it takes sometimes 30, 50K to shoot.
Oh.
Yeah, 30, 50K to shoot a particular, like, one video. You get it? And our genre is not mainstream even when it comes to the gospel sectors yet. So it's actually even difficult to like amass the numbers to get the money for the streams and all that. But I'm still hopeful.
Stay hopeful.
Yeah, I'm still
works.
very hopeful, because years back, urban gospel will never get the platform, like big platform, like being on Three Music, and the last time we performed at Three Music Awards, it's a journey, and I think sometimes we just have to, as human as we are, sometimes we lose patience, because we set standards for ourselves, but God knows what He's doing. It probably wouldn't be us, but the next generation. But we are still believing, and we'll still be working hard to put everything so that the next generation can also
Are
enjoy
able
from our
to
sweat.
enjoy. Okay, let's talk about your song Rejoice.
Yeah.
Rejoice is a good song.
Thank you.
I've had it on replay a few times,
Oh,
right?
thank you.
I want to talk about the line that talks about heartbreak.
Why every lady will talk about that part? I don't really understand.
No, because I mean I understand that you in that song you talk about whatever you are going through, just stay joyful and rejoice. But that line just popped out to me, right? Especially with the.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, I'm listening.
Were you relating to that line in this?
Was I relating? No, not at this point in my life. Not at this
maybe
point.
maybe something happened previously where
No.
hey,
I wasn't relating to it in any way. No, I wasn't relating to it in any way. I just felt it is sort of stands out, like I earlier said.
Okay.
Like with everything that you were saying, you just had to leave that one in there.
Yeah, it's actually.
Are you going through that?
No.
Have you?
I've
been
gone through
that?
heartbreaks.
Okay.
Different kind of heartbreaks. Like my mom passed out. It was like a very terrible blow to me. A heartbreak. My first girlfriend, a heartbreak. And so all those kind of stuffs are actually heartbreaks. But at that point in time, I was trying to put myself in everyone's shoe because heartbreaks are actually stuff that we go through day in, day out. People disappoint us, and even in those worst times, you still need to rejoice because the Bible says in Philippians 4:4 that rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice.
Yeah, the Bible says in Philippians 4:4, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Philippians 4:4.
Yeah. Why is stress on that?
I'll keep that in my mind.
Yeah. So the again I say rejoice is actually sending a message that it's like we being in the studio, okay, and let's say Ricky comes and he's like, don't touch this phone. And he's leaving and he says, again, don't touch this phone. And there's an outbreak or something and we have to rush out. The instruction was, don't touch this phone.
But stubborn you will touch the phone.
No, I'm not stubborn. So if you're leaving this place, then it means that regardless, don't touch the phone, regardless of what will happen. And that was what the Bible was trying to communicate to us. Again, I said rejoice. It means that
reiterating.
Even in these times when the economy, they do some things, and since petrol prices they go up, and since
if you bring it. Yeah, not everyone can rejoice. Not everyone can still rejoice, regardless of how you want to. Not that it won't cut across.
And in the
especially
song,
with that
in the song, in the song, I said something at the front happiness, meaning I am not happy, but it's conscious. Like I am making you see, because in pidgin when you say you dey front something, it means that the thing no day, but you are acting as the thing, like I want to be.
As though it's there.
Yeah. So it's not as if you are happy. You're not happy about it, but you don't have to sit and worry about it because worry won't change anything.
Worry won't change anything. Nice. What's your relationship with Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams? Because I hear his just getting to the end of the song. I hear it in there.
I listen to his sermons on YouTube. Practically that. He's someone I would love to meet, but just from afar. From afar vibe, yeah.
From afar vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. You know why I'm asking? Because Archbishop has that unction, right? To have to want to groom the younger ones. So I actually thought that you had exactly to have to put his song, his voice in your song.
No, I'm on a big platform, so Archbishop, if you're listening to me, I would want to be a son.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed if that should happen.
Yeah.
Moving on to the gospel industry, and people not wanting to front and say I like a particular type of music, especially when it comes to high life, Afrobeat, hip hop, and all of that. What's your favorite Afrobeat song?
There's this Afrobeat Gyra by Limo Blues.
What's that? What song is that?
Gyra.
Yeah. I have to check it out. I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah,
Are you sure it's not gospel? You are Jai. Is that not the song?
yeah, that's a song. Hey, but there's
You
an
are Lord. That's a gospel song.
It's an Afro beat. It's an Afro beat.
But it's gospel.
Yeah, but it's
no,
gospel.
I was talking about a secular.
You know why I don't want to answer this?
Why?
I have a problem.
What's the problem?
And the problem is when the secular artists come here, they are normally not asked, what is your favorite gospel
How do you know?
song? So, but I watch a lot of interviews.
I've asked. I will ask.
Yeah, because so right now you put me in a box. I'm mentioning any song. Tomorrow I did on blocks.
No, you know that's why I'm asking that. Gospel people like to front in a certain way,
okay,
like take
like
a
they
certain
don't.
stance.
Okay, I get it.
Exactly.
I get it. I get it now. I get it now. Oh, I get it now.
Thank you.
Sorry, my bad. My favorite Afrobeat song now. What song would it be? I listen to a lot of songs.
You do?
Yeah.
Which of these songs do you listen to? Would you want to have their crooners or their makers on a song of yours?
Okay, I think the song that I list 5 star. There's a song 5 star.
That's Kim Promise.
No, not Promise.
Who?
Adenkule.
Adenkule. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that would be my
You've
favorite.
gone so this big Ghana with all the
I have a lot of songs. That's what I was telling. I have a lot of songs, but that was what came to
Ghanaian.
mind.
Ghanaian, yeah. Give me, let me say 4 Ghanaian musicians, secular musicians you are likely to collaborate with on a, yeah.
Oh, maybe Stoneboy. Anyone from Lynx.
Anyone from Lynx.
That's my family.
Okay.
Then my boy Daco Vibes.
Okay. And then
5 star.
5 star Kim Promise.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's nice. I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think that you'll be sidelined if that should come out? Like it won't be able to be
Already,
played in certain circles.
Be sidelined already.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so you will have nothing.
But I
to
already
lose.
have song. I have a song with EL. I have a song with Dark Sabbath.
Dark Sabbath.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a song with Dark Sabbath, and it was on my album I released in 2020, In the Midst of Comfort. So I don't think, I always say this, that this is where I'm coming from. And it took just a phone call from a man of God to get me here. So I don't feel I'm in the right space to actually condemn someone in the secular space.
Right.
Because I was just like them. And it was
Right.
just a phone call. It wasn't as if like, yo, somebody came, preach, God is coming tomorrow. No, it was just a phone call. And God literally had to do his thing.
Right.
So you never know. Maybe it will just be like
Would you go
feature.
back?
It's never crossed my mind. It's never
Okay.
crossed my mind. The only thing I struggle and I pray with is for perfection.
Okay.
I know it's not something that I can, it's something very difficult to get, but anytime I fall, that's what I pray for. I pray that God would actually come to my aid and perfect me. And that's what I pray for, not to go back to where I'm coming from. No, it's never crossed my mind.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Now, one thing that definitely crossed your mind was your high school talks.
Yeah.
What was your motivation
So
to start?
to start it. So with a tour, last year, after the whole theme music, VGMAs, I felt like we were on a rise. And we had to double work hard so that we could get to the next level. And during our media tours, there was one thing that we kept hearing. Urban gospel folks need to come together so that we could push this. And we did an EP last year, This Is Us. And we had to put almost 27 artists on that EP. And just to share the message that urban gospel is actually here to stay.
The end thing.
Yeah. And I don't know my expectations here, but it didn't meet my expectations. Like the level at which I actually wanted things to get to, didn't meet it. And I was really down. Because even aside that, the following year came, VGMAs came, I wasn't in it. Theme music came, I wasn't in it. It's not as if you are award centered, because that's how people always make it look like you don't do for the awards. But at the end, when it happens that you don't get the nominations, I can tell you the number of artists who are in their rooms and crying about it.
You legit agreed to the crying.
Yeah, and I like to be very real. You get disappointed in yourself sometimes. And that's when
Which
I
shouldn't
actually,
be the case.
which shouldn't be the case, but that's I'm a young artist. I was learning a lot of things then. That was when I actually came to the conclusion that I shouldn't change what I've set for myself, because three music VGMEs actually came when I wasn't even expecting it. You get it? So why shift my attention from what got me there to where to
Where
the
you are at
where
this
I am
point.
now. So I was convinced then, and I actually had to come out from depression, because at a point I didn't want to do the music again.
Depression. Did you pray yourself out of depression, or did you see?
So I actually did two things. I prayed out of it, and I read,
Okay.
because I am that
Not go
kind.
and see a psychologist.
No,
Okay.
I'm that kind of guy. I don't trust easily.
Okay.
I don't trust easily. So even with psychologists and all those people, I kind of feel like, okay, the next time this guy sees me on TV,
He's going to point at
yeah,
that's
this
the
guy. Yeah, so I try to talk to God as much as I can, because he's
Right.
the only friend that I have. I spoke to
Right.
him, and I got directions to read some kind of books, and I read, and that was how come I actually started embarking on the mental health awareness tour, which we've been to most secondary school. It's practically to impact.
What's the state of that now? The high school talk
We're
at the
still
moment.
we're still on it. God willing, tomorrow we'll be at Methodist Girls. So we are still on it. We are trying to, that secondary school stage is actually a stage where you want to experiment a lot. You are quite energetic.
Youthful exuberance.
Yeah, youthful exuberance. You want to try anything, and that's when I feel they actually need us. I'm not saying Bible preaching about the word is wrong, but there are times when we need to be very practical.
Okay.
We need to be very practical.
Being very practical. I'm done.
Yeah.
We've closed. We are done. Yapon. I see you're enjoying the conversation too much. But yes, that wraps it up for us on
Okay,
Q.
Charlie, thank you for having me.
Thank
Charlie.
you. Thank you too so
But next
much.
time, make you guys do on like 2 hours.
2 hours, hey! We're gonna be here chatting for 2 hours. I'm sure you have so much to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been very conversational, just like I love it to be. So yeah, thanks for also being real, keeping it real, and pouring out your heart. Now, I hope that you still stay true to yourself, stay true to your purpose, and push the gospel as far as you want to push it.
Anytime you see somebody sway away, just call me on the phone and be like, Kobby, remember this day where you come through music?
You say you will not look back. Come on, get back to it. Thank you so much, Kobby. All right, that wraps it up for us on Q. My name is Lerny Lomotey. My guest, Kobby Salm. Enjoy his music and enjoy the rest of our programming. Bye bye. Peace out.